Hi friends, welcome back. In this clip, we are going to work on the front end part of the series, how to integrate Paystack subscription plan API into our project. So in this part, we are going to make use of React and the React router DOM. The version we are going to use is version 6.4. I mean the React router DOM version, and we are going to make use of its data fetching mechanism. So as you can clearly see from here, we already have a React setup. I'm using a Replit for this tutorial. So to start, I'm going to create a folder called component inside this source folder. Then inside the component folder, I'm going to make a file called a main navigation. You can now install React Router DOM. So to install React Router DOM version 6.4, I will just say npm I, which stands for install then React hyphen router 6.4. Hit the enter. So as you can see, our React Router DOM is successfully installed now. So the first thing that we need to do now is to import nav link from so after that, then main component called the main navigation. We say const main navigation or gonna be an arrow function. Then I return the CSS path. Then I'm going to have a format. So inside here now, we have a header. Then inside the header, I have a nav, and then UL, then my component, the nav link, and the prop is to have a forward slash. Then we write the home here. Now the next thing that we need to do, we need to export this component. Say export default name of my component. This is main navigation. All right, I think we are done for that aspect. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is to create another folder in our source folder. Once again, so I will create the folder, name the folder pages. Then after that, I will create another file, and I will name the file root layout. Root layout. Then the next thing that we need to do now after creating the file is to import outlets. So inside our root layout component, let me declare a variable first. The const to layout. Of course, it's going to be an arrow function. And I will return something. Let me quickly export it before I forget. Import layout, then on the fragment. Right. So the next thing now for me to do is to import the navigation. In navigation from our component, then we have a main navigation. All right, so having done that, so let me just copy this and then have it close this one a little bit. All right, and then have that, and then inside our inside our root layout, then we have this element main, and inside it our outlet. So we have our outlet here. What we need to do now inside our app.jsx now. So let me open that on a different tab. We need to import a couple of stuff from React Router DOM. So let me import it browser router from the router DOM. Then the next one is create out from elements. Then the next one is router provider. All right, so we actually imported most things that we will be needing here. So the next thing I need to do is to declare a variable, and I will call this variable router, and then create browser router here. So I will input it inside it. Before that, let me just have this provide the router provider on it. Then as a prop, I pass this prop called router here, and then inside this function now, another one, create route from elements. Then inside this, I will not have the, and then this is going to be the root component, and then with the path forward slash home. Then the element root layout, the ones we have here. So let me import that first. Let me remove this. So import root layout from pages. Then we have a root layout, and then this is our root layout now. All right. Oh, I've not imported this route. So what I will need to do now is to import this route also. So having done that, now let me also have a child route. So we are going to be needing this now. So I will just terminate this, and then it has a path. Oh, instead of path, since it's going to be an index. So we have an index here and the element. Element. We have the element, then the name of the component will be home. So we've not created that. So we are going to create that, and we try to import that. So I will import the home from, so we call it also home. And then inside our page, I'm gonna create another file called home CSS. So having created that, now I can now import. Okay, before I import anything, let me first create the component, and let me say home. And then of course this is going to be an arrow function. So we have this, and then the CSS aspect. So inside this we have the component. Let me submit that. Alright. And then, so the next thing I'll need to do now, so the form we need, so it's going to be an HTML boilerplate code. So let me quickly copy that and paste instead of typing everything. So as you can see now, I already have the form. So it's just a couple of fields. So you can see last name, and then we can see first name, and then amount and email. So as you can see, just couple of fields here. So but what I will need to do here now is to have a name, attribute, and the values. So here now we have an email, then we have a name here. Yes, the email, we have the last name, we have the first name, and then amount here. We successfully copied everything here now. So I think you've been able to do all this. So let's try. Oh, before I forget, we need to get some CSS. So we are going to be making use of W3 CSS. I like making use of it in all my tutorial because it's very simple and lightweight. So let's quickly go to W3 school. So I go to W3 school, W3 CSS. Then, so I will need to copy the link. So let me look for a particular. Okay, this one link here. So I copied it. Here also, let me grab this, and then it's in the same tab. And then we have our W3 CSS code there. Then so I'll go to app.css. So I'm going to paste the code that I just copied now. So after copying it, then so I think that's all. So I can now get my open my home component, the file. I can now open it back. So let's try to see how far we've gone with what we've been able to achieve so far. So let me come here and try to copy this link. So I paste everything in the link. Just copy in this tab. We are having this. Okay, it's not recognizing that part. Okay, see, we have our email here. So our CSS, our React is not detecting our CSS because we've not imported it. So let me go to app.jsx first. So let me try to open this in another tab. So we need to import that. So all that we need to do now, let's see CSS. So let's see once again. All right. So as you can see, so we've been able to bring our CSS and everything now is working perfectly. So to make our home now, what we have here, our component to work with our backend, so we need to import a couple of stuff from React Router DOM. I would say import. The first thing we are going to import from React Router DOM, we have a form component. Then we have a use loader from React DOM. Right. So having imported that, so where we have a form here now, we change it to capital letter. The closing part now, we also change the first letter there, and then now I want to declare a variable so that we can make use of data fetch mechanism after DOM. I will create a variable called a home folder, and then this will be same. And then inside this object we have a property called a request and the parent that which is going to be an arrow function. So the first thing now inside our home loader, we declare a variable URL to new and URL. And inside this, we have a request dot URL, and then after that we declare another variable. Let's say object equal new. Have a URL search params. We have a URL dot search, right? And the next thing we need to do now is to declare a variable, and we call this variable response for await. So we have our function as async here. So we have a fetch API. So now let us have it's a practice here. So what I want to do next now is to get the URL of the backend we created, that is subscription plan API that I created in the last video tutorial. So that is the part one. So I want to grab the URL now. So you can see the URL here now is saying status false, message invalid. So I will grab this. So since we are working on the front end, grabbing this, then I will have a email. Since we are using a get request, normally we are supposed to use a probably this a string here. So we are making use of this. So now we have a email, and then we have a dollar. Which we are using it's a template, the string literal here, or template literal rather. So we now have this object now. So before that, okay, let's try and see something now. So to grab the value of what we have there, let me comment this out, and then let's just return something. Let's return this object dot get. So this get is a URL SAS params method. So we have a email, for instance. We want to grab the email on our URL from our URL. So let me try to come here now, and then let me go to inspect. We are having some errors here. I'll do okay. Let's try to see something first, and then have here. So if I should click here, so what do we have? So nothing. So let me refresh once again. Okay. So I think the error is gone now. So now let's now log something to the cons. The browser console now. Say console.log. So let me refresh once again. So as you can see, nothing is returned. So let's go back to our app.jsx. So inside here now, inside our shared routes here, so we have a loader. We now have our home loader. The loader we have here now, let me just grab it, and here now, let me paste it and then also import it. So now let's go back and see once again. So it's saying what we have here, so it's complaining. So let's check what is happening there. So I think I didn't export this. Let me let me try to refresh. Okay, you can see now, you can see the email here now. So now to get a amount, so I will just put amount here, amount. If you should go back, what do we have? We have a the one, we should have a 1000 that we have there. So I think we should have a log the amount here. So if you should go back to the browser now, let me try to reload. We should see 1000 here. Okay, so this is what we want to send to the to the server now. So here now, I will just grab this to the email. So I have it here. And the next one, I will grab this also, and then paste it also to have the amount here, amount, and then here also amount. Then again, have this, have a first name, and here also first name, then one for last name. So this one as a I want to pass. So all right. So here now, let me just define the route we want to use in our form tag. So the first attribute here, we have a method. So we are going to use a get method, and then the action where we want to submit it to. Okay. So I think this should be forward slash then home. So having done that, let's go back to our browser and try to reload here now. Okay, so we are having this. So let's try to return something now. So here now, I will now say const and variable then equal response dot json. So yeah, let's just use a await. Sorry, are we having some? Oh, this should be inside the curly brace here. Should be inside the curly brace. And then now we can now return our data. So inside our home component, so we declare another variable called data, and now we use loader data. So if we to log it now, let's log this one. So the console log, and then let's have it here. So let's go to here. So we're having this. Okay, let's return. We are supposed to return. Are we having? So we're having to return here. So let me just remove this log here. All right. So now let's go back and see. So what do we have now? Okay, so this is the response we get from the server now. So what we actually need here is this authorization underscore URL so that we get the checkout. So to get that now, so we need to convert the JSON back to an object. So we can now say constant, let's say JSON to object. So we now say JSON. So now we have our data here. And then if we should log this instead of this now, we should have a sorry, there should be a kind of gap in there. So now if we should log this now, what do we have? You can see we have an object back now. I converted this back to an object. All right, as you can see. So now if you want to access what we need now, so that we say dot. So if I should copy this now, this authorization URL now. So we're having undefined because we are supposed to have data before that. So we have this data dot now. So you can see now. Let me refresh it. Refresh the browser so that we can see what we have clearly. So you can see we have this part now. This is to be check out paystack.com and followed by reference. So now having done that, the next thing we need to do now is to redirect that to redirect from this page, this payment page to the checkout page. So all we need to do now is to import use effect. So here now, curly braces. So now, set our use effect now. So here now, our use effect, which is a callback function. So now after that we can now say if it's into object, if it's not, then now say window dot location dot href. So equal to what we have here. Then the dependency here. Have here. So now if we should go back now, you can see it's redirecting already. It already has already done that for us. So let's go back a little bit. Let me uh let me have a slash home. Let me have this, and after that have a home. I think we're having an error here. So it's complaining about our home. Okay, let's try to see what is happening there first. So in our home page, okay, I think this should be our use effect. We should have a command here. So let's try to reload our browser now. Okay, we cannot read the authorization. Alright, so let's try to resolve this first. So what we are going to do now is to use a optional chaining here now. So let's just put a question mark here, and let's go back and see again. So let's reload. Alright, so you can see the error is now gone. So though we are still having undefined here, but that's not a problem. So now let me just have my email, and then let me just put like 10,000 here. So if I should click now, you can see it's now redirecting us. You can see, so if I now click on this success, that is when I fill my card and I mean my card details. So and I click on this button, so we should be able to see payment successful. So we've been able to successfully implement the front end now. In our next video tutorial, we want to see how we can make use of other front-end technologies like Vue and vanilla JavaScript and jQuery, and probably also Svelte. So how we can use that. So we have successfully made use of React here. So the next one, we are going to make use of another technology. So thank you so much for watching. So and then if you find this tutorial a one something interesting to you and been able to use it to resolve one or two challenges you are having, trying to incorporate Paystack into your project, please don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much once again.